Alrighty, we are going to be talking about slope fields and differential equations. Yay! Yay! A differential equation is an equation for the derivative of x and y. So essentially, what we are going to think about is implicit differentiation, and you know what that is. Whenever we did that back in Unit 2. Differential equations are when you're given the derivative of the function. So these are going to be your differential equations right here. Notice how here they are in terms of x's and y's. So thinking about implicit functions. A slope field is a graph of the slopes for the given function at various points. So looking at number 1 right here, you have 6 various points. And what we're going to do is just plot the slopes for them. Now remember that the derivative stands for slope. So essentially we are going to plug and chug whatever coordinate they give us into the derivative, and that's going to give us a slope. Essentially, if you're given an FRQ, you're going to be doing a couple of things. You're either going to be sketching a slope field, or you're going to be sketching a solution curve through a given point on a slope field, or you're going to find a general equation for the differential equation given an initial condition. But looking at number 1, right here, we have the differential equation dy dx is equal to 2y over x. And what we are going to be doing is substituting in x and y based off of what I have right here. So here, if I were to let x be 1 and y be 0, you'll notice that if y is 0, I'm going to get 2 times 0 over 1, which is just going to be 0 over 1, which means that my slope here is going to be 0. Likewise, if y is 0, this means that this is also going to be 0 right here. Great. Now, what if x is 1 and what if y is 1? So something like this right here. That's going to give us 2 times 1 over 1, which is going to give us a slope of 2. So we're just going to try and make a slope of 2. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it looks positive and it looks like 2 and it's not that steep, then you're good.
Oh my gosh, he's so dumb.
Same thing with 1 and negative 1 right here. So 2 times negative 1 over 1 is going to give us a slope of negative 2. As long as it's negative and as long as it doesn't look that steep, you are good. So we're going to say that's negative 2. Same thing here. So 2 times 1 over negative 1, which gives us a slope of negative 2. So I'm just going to copy and paste that right here. Same thing for this coordinate right here. So we have 2, negative 1 over negative 1, which gives us positive 2. So that's going to be this right here. And that's essentially it for a slope field. Essentially, you're just trying to figure out the slope at that particular point, which is going to be very helpful whenever we talk about equations of tangent lines again. So that's going to be one of the other applications. All right. I'm not going to do number 2 because it's the same thing where you're just plugging and chugging the 10 points. It's a little bit more, but it's still the same thing. Now, if you are sketching a curve through the indicated point, what we are essentially doing here is trying to figure out the path of the slope field based off of this particular point. So here, what we're going to do is make a solution curve that passes through the point 2, 3, and it kind of follows the general idea of my slope field. So it's going to look something like that probably. What you do want to do whenever we are drawing these curves is that we want to make sure that it's all the way to the edge and it doesn't cross through my asymptotes right here. And we're also not going to include arrows, so just something like this is perfect right here. Same thing with 0, 0. We are going to sketch a general curve at 0, 0. So it might look something like, let's say, this right here. So that is 0, 0. Same thing for 0, 2, and 3, negative 2. So if I have 0, 2 right here, I'm going to sketch my curve, making sure that it doesn't cross through my asymptotes. And you'll get a general idea of where your asymptotes are. Essentially, here, you're just going to try to sketch it as close as possible in terms of your curve. So something like that would be your solution curve for the point at 0, 2. Same thing for 3, negative 2. So we have 3, negative 2 right here. Just try to sketch it. Look something like this. Right there. I'm not going to do number 5, but it's essentially the same thing where you're just going to be sketching the solution curve based off of where the points are. Same thing with number 6. You are just sketching the slope field based off of the 9 points. Same thing with 7. You're just trying to figure out which statement is false based off of the slope field right here. So this isn't a long lesson. It's pretty short. So hopefully after this video you can graph and sketch the slope fields pretty easily.